Hi everyone. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay,
I
so
can hear you.
my name is Olaolu Ayodeji. I am representing Data Dynamics, and we are presenting the app user data analysis for Synaptics Digital Solutions. Here are my fellow team members who participated in different roles to complete this project. Thanks to everyone for their effort. Introduction, Synaptics Digital Solutions, it's a gateway to digital mastery. They're a leading company that help to innovate and transform businesses digitally. They specialize in automation and advanced analytics, as well as committed to enhancing efficiency and driving business successes. They also deliver insight to propel businesses forward. The objective of this project is to examine and analyze user data to find reasonable patterns and trends to provide actionable insights for Synaptics Digital Solutions. The tools that were employed, we started with SQL for the data extraction. Then we use Excel to clean the data and process the data, and Power BI for the visualizations, as well as PowerPoint for this presentation that you can see at the moment. Here's our dashboard. We examined the total number of 10,000 users over the duration of 1 year. And we can see that the average session duration is slightly over 60 minutes with an average engagement score of 495. We have the average number of sessions to be 50 and the average daily app usage to be 6.1 hours daily. The correlation coefficient was pretty low at 0.005. So here you can see some of the key matrices that we analyzed: number of users, the churn risk. So I'm going to go further to explain these visualizations you can see. Analysis by the age group. We can see that the oldest users had the highest number of users of the app at 1,948. They also had the highest engagement score at 509. In terms of the device types, the laptop users had the highest number of users, but the tablet users had the highest engagement score, which is somewhat reflective of our age groups here. Because the younger users tend to use their smartphone more. I believe that's why we can see that the smartphone number of users is low, as well as the engagement score. In terms of the location, we can see that Phoenix had the highest number of users, but Dallas users had the highest engagement score. Phoenix, with the highest number of users, also did relatively well, with New York being the least in terms of engagement scores. In terms of gender, we did not see a lot of difference. The male users slightly edged the female users, but the female users had a slightly higher engagement score. In terms of the churn data, we looked at different matrices to analyze the churn data, and we came up with a formula for that. We looked at the last login dates. Users that have logged in within the last 30 days, they are low risk in terms of login dates, while users between 30 and 120 days, they are moderate risk, and users over 120 days are high risk. In terms of the engagement score, we have the high engagement users, the moderate engagement users, and the low engagement users. As you can see, the indicators. In terms of usage per day, we have the very high usage users, we have the high usage, we have the moderate usage, and we have the low usage. Sorry about that. In terms of number of sessions, We have the high frequency, that is higher than 60, moderate frequency from 40 to 60, and the low frequency, less than 40 sessions. And then we also have, in terms of session duration, the low duration users, less than 40 minutes, the moderate duration users from 40 to 80 minutes, and the high duration users over 80 minutes. We use this to calculate a churn risk and assign the churn risk to different to all the users. After we use the formula, as you can see below, applying different weights to the different matrices that we are analyzing. The login date was given the highest matrix of 30%, the usage days 25%, the number of sessions 15, session duration 10, and the engagement score of 20. From that, we're able to see that the medium risk users were the highest, followed by the high risk of churn, and then the low risk. So we need to work on our user engagement in order to pull back the high and the medium risk users. We also analyze the correlation between the device type and the engagement score. As you can see here, there was very little to no correlation between the device types and engagement score, meaning the type of device has no effect on the engagement score. Summary of our findings. In terms of the age group, the highest number of users was 65 and above, and the lowest 18 to 25. The engagement scores for the age group, the highest as well was 65 and above, and the lowest was 35 to 44. For the device types, the number of users, the laptop had the highest number of users, and smartphone had the lowest number of users. In terms of the engagement scores, the tablet had the highest, with the desktop the lowest. And for the genders, as we saw earlier, the male gender has the highest number of users, but the female gender has the higher engagement score. In terms of location, Phoenix had the highest number of users, with Philadelphia having the lowest, and Dallas having the highest engagement score, with New York the lowest. We look at our churn risk. 63% of users had a high risk of churning, with 27% having a medium risk and 10% having a low risk. We did not find any correlation between the device type and the engagement score during this analysis. Our recommendations are addressing at risk. First of all, we have to address addressing at-risk users. We can do this by implementing reminders, to prompt users that haven't used that are on the high risk, to remind them of the features, give them time-based discounts to encourage them to continue using the app. In terms of optimizing user experience, we need to utilize user stories to create improvements to optimize the user experience and include options for different user needs. In terms of targeting the age groups, we need to create targeted features for different age groups. Younger age groups, we can attract them with things like sharing their achievements and sharing it on their other social media platforms. With the median age group, we can create tools for time management to help them, and also career development tools in the app. And for the older users, we can increase the accessibility and the visibility of the app. In terms of optimizing the UI, we can optimize it by device type as well, with the desktop users having more advanced features for them to be able to do more things. The laptop users having better mobility features so that they can use the app on the go. And the tablet user with better touch interface features in order for them to navigate on the app more seamlessly. And the smartphone users with quick access features in order for them to use the functions quickly from their home screen. We can also we can also create localized content for different locations. For our locations with lower engagement, we can collaborate with content creators as well as creating personalized notifications for different locations in order to encourage people to be more familiar with the ongoings of the app and how they can benefit from it with the things around them. Finally, I want to talk about my experience with RKY Careers. It's been a good journey so far. I've learned a lot from SQL to analyzing data using Excel and Power BI. And also, I've gotten a lot of support from our tutors in terms of presenting this, as well as throughout the whole session, the classes. They've been very helpful, and I would definitely recommend RKY Careers to future analysts. Thank you very much. There goes the end of my presentation.
Well done. Thank you so much. Great presentation. Great presentation. Right. Do we have feedbacks? Feedbacks. Zainab. Zainab, you've only commented on one so far. What's going on? I challenge you
Okay,
this
I'll go
time.
for this one now. So yeah, lovely presentation. First, I'll start with the things that I, love. So first, I love there are a variety of charts, the way you explain the churn by the different categories. And, I also loved how you explained, gave detailed on how the score was calculated with the different weights that you assigned for each criteria. And the recommendations you gave to were very detailed. And I love how you gave the summary at the end, to just reiterate all that you've said and, followed by the recommendations. And for some things that I think that have been, a bit better, I would say so the text and format were not so consistent. We have some on this side, some are down, and some of the sizes are not also the same in some places. And there was a slide where you had 5 different charts on there with light blue text. They weren't so visible. I don't know.
Okay.
It just didn't seem really consistent. And there's a place where there was an error with his spelling, chum risk instead of churn. And
Yes.
then, so yeah, I would say just those and just the consistency in the PowerPoint slides, basically.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.